up, Kenton? You too, man.
What's up, buddy? How are you? That looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks real good.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 11th Region Baseball Tournament here at Chuck Stivers Field. Mike Ritchie, Scott Willard bringing you the baseball action here tonight. Should be a good one. Been through a lot of rain, been through a lot of moisture, but getting set for first pitch here. Madison Central comes in with a record of 31-6. They're 14-1 in the region. Only loss up to this point has been against LCA back on April 21st. They lost that ball game 3-1. They're a perfect 10-0 in the district. Sayre, very impressive year for the Spartans, coming with a record of 24-13. They're 12-7 in the region, and they're 5-3 in district play. I'd like to bring in Coach Willard. And Coach, a lot of rain here. We had the delay yesterday. The rain delay, didn't get any game in. They're going to try to get one in tonight. What do you think, from a coach's perspective, the difficulty with your kids with the rain out and then coming back and having to play on the second day and then getting this much rain again?
Well, you know, at this time of year, kids are ready to play, and when you get here yesterday and they go through warm-ups and don't get to play, and then they come out today and they got to sit. The game's supposed to start at 6, and now it's 9. It's going to be 3 hours later, and just making sure that everybody's ready to play, making sure that your kids are focused and not so much worried about what's happened in the past is we got to go take care of the next 2 hours on the field. So, these kids are ready to play and on both sides. And, I know both coaches will have them focused on what they got to do for the next 2 hours.
So it should be a good ball game here. Madison Central, like I say, Coach, only one loss in the region. You got to say they're probably the favorite to win this ball game. But after what Sayre did against Lafayette on Monday, you can't take the Spartans for granted.
Not at all. They did everything exactly what they were supposed to do against Lafayette. It was the perfect storm. Elias goes out and throws a great game for them. It's 1-1 going into the 7th, and then Sayre explodes for 5 runs in the top of the 7th. They get that 6-1 lead. Madison Central had a little bit easier time with Woodford County in their first-round matchup. But, Sayre, Elias threw great the other day, and they got another good guy to come back with tonight, Michael Flora, as through the finals of the district for him against Henry Clay, lost the game 2-1, and he's thrown some great games for him this year. You would say that he and Elias would be co-number 1. So there's no drop-off in Sayre's pitching. And then tonight in Joe Holbrook, the young man that threw the regional semifinals last year. So he's had experience of being in this spot. He threw the regional semifinals last year, threw great, got Madison Central the win. So he going into the season, he was going to be Madison Central's number 1 guy, and they got him right here in the spot where they need him.
All righty. And Michael Flora, like you say, it's almost 1-1A between he and Aiden Elias. So don't think, by watching the baseball game here today, that Sayre's got a shot at winning this ball game.
Very much so. They've they're playing their best baseball right now. From what they did in the district tournament up to beating the number 2 team in the state, and beating a team like Lafayette gives your team a ton of confidence. They know now, hey, we can play with anybody. We're as good as anybody in this region. We can play with anybody, and they're not. Sayre, the only thing Sayre's got on their mind right now is winning a baseball game. They're not thinking we got to pull the upset. Hey, we beat the best team on paper. What was supposed to be the best team on paper on Monday. Now we're going to come back on Wednesday and beat another top 5 team.
Well, let's take a timeout. We'll be back here for first pitch action here in the 11th Region Tournament at Chuck Stivers Field on the campus of Henry Clay. We'll be back in a few.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Summer Heroes Read. Summer reading kicks off at Scott County Public Library May the 31st. Don't miss superhero story times for children. For teens, check out the White Hat computer hacking class, supervillain costume party, and running the city police obstacle course. Adults enjoy free Wi-Fi, computer access, books, movies, and music. Relax and recharge at the Scott County Public Library. Check us out at www.scottpublib.org.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
All right. Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's a winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach Honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Can't believe that.
Welcome back. We just had player introductions here, getting set for first pitch action. No, neither team coach took infield. Is there a big advantage between not taking infield? Is that much of a messes with the rhythm very much, or what's your thoughts?
You know, there's some guys that like to take infield, and there's other guys that, you know, there's been times as a coach you decide we're not going to take infield. So, but these guys got 35 games under their belt, and they know what's going on, and they're able to make those adjustments. And both the coaches got them fly balls and ground balls out in the outfield before the game, so they're both ready to go.
All righty, looking at the defensive lineup for the Spartans of Sayre, the home team on the scoreboard. Over at third base, Josh Morgan. The shortstop, Christian Courtney. Mason Jasko over at second base. Sam Van Balen is over at first base. Out in left field, Garrett Young. The center fielder, Aiden Elias. And in right field, James Dupree. Catching is John Van Balen. And on the mound, Michael Flora. Michael Flora is a 5'10", 165-pound junior for the Sayre Spartans. Hitting lineup for the Indians of Madison Central. Leading off and pitching, number 16, Joe Holbrook. He's a junior, batting .373 on the season. Batting second is number 23, Nick Cavanaugh, the third baseman. He's hitting .296. Josh Wright, number 14, is the right fielder. He's batting .378, and he'll be hitting in the 3 spot. Batting in the 4 spot, number 8, Ben Morin. The center fielder is batting .371 on the season. Batting in the 5th spot, the designated hitter, number 27, Isaac Swafford. Isaac is batting .256 on the season. In the 6th spot, the left fielder, number 4, Seth Richardson, the junior, hitting .310. In the 7th spot, the first baseman, Griffin Hotchkiss. Griffin's batting .250 on the season. Batting in the 8th spot, the catcher, Corey Mullins, the senior, hitting .222. And rounding out the lineup and the batting order is the shortstop, number 12, Jeremy Lakes, who comes in hitting .278. What's your impression of the Madison Central hitters after having played them and watched them a couple games in this tournament?
The Madison Central hitters are line drive, other way type guys. So, they're not going to be big pull guys, and they probably won't pull the ball on the ground very much. But they're going to be guys that are really going to get up on top of the plate and try to work the ball the other way, especially if Flora is throwing the ball away.
All right, first pitch from floor is outside, ball one. Your officials: Dave Bryan behind the plate, Dave Schroeder over at first base, Tyler Pruden out at second base, and Scott Allison over at third. Here's the 0-1 pitch, or 1-0 pitch. Strike one called.
And they made a little change on the umpires. I don't know if Pruden went over to the 10th, but they got Bob Eads out at second now.
Mr. Bob Eads. Strike two on the swing and miss. Top of the first inning here, Chuck Stivers Field. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Flora. Outside, hits the mitt. One problem, wasn't it, Coach?
Outside, the catcher set up outside, and you can see early that you can tell that Flora's going to work away.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. A little bit too much of the plate. Got lucky there. Joe Holbrook just fouled it off straight back. 2-2 here. Top of the first inning, just underway. First semifinal game. Only one played tonight. They'll try to play the LCA Henry Clay game tomorrow at some point. We'll try to give you an update as to the time of that game. Hopefully we'll get this one in first. Here's the payoff pitch outside. Holbrook. Great job there, Coach, working a walk after being behind 1-2 in the count.
Yeah, really did a good job. Didn't swing at bad pitches, and he's the pitcher tonight. So you want to see if Madison Central's got a little bit of team speed. They like to run. They're going to let Holbrook stay out. As a pitcher, he could get a courtesy runner, but they're going to let him stay out and run here to start the game off.
Now batting, Nick Cavanaugh, the third baseman, the senior, wearing number 23, batting .296 on the season. Had a good game the first game, Coach. 2 for 3 with an RBI. Takes first pitch right down the middle. Strike one call by Dave Bryan. And defensively, Josh Morgan played center field when Aiden Elias pitched. Now he's over to third baseman, so he's kind of that utility player.
Yeah, he moves around wherever. Flora played first base the first game, so.
Morgan even with the grass. A token attempt at a pickoff move as Flora just lobs it over to Sam Van Balen. Good lead by Joe Holbrook over at first base. We're in the top of the first inning. Glad to be finally bringing you baseball action here in the 11th region after a day of rain. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Flora outside. Coach, I think you called it. He's going to live outside.
Yeah, most high school pitchers are going to try to flirt with that edge of the plate and see if the umpire will go 2 or 3 balls off the plate and see how much they can get out there.
So the 1-1 pitch. Holbrook off on the pitch. Looked like that might have been a hit and run. Cavanaugh able to foul the ball back over top of us here in the press box. Joe Holbrook, the pitcher tonight for Madison Central, with a leadoff walk. Coach Roof decides to keep the pitcher out there on first base instead of bringing in a courtesy runner. He'll probably do it if there gets to be 2 outs, I would say, if he hasn't scored. Just a pickoff move over at Holbrook. He's back in plenty of time. Coach Kevin Clary in his first season at Sayre gets a big win in the district and then even bigger win in the first round of the region as he upset the number 2 team in the state, the Generals of Lafayette. And that one there kind of slipped just a little bit, and Cavanaugh down to second base on the wild pitch.
Yeah, you never know now. That was a breaking ball that looked like it just slipped right out of the hands. Don't be surprised now, since Holbrook's at second, for the speed-up guy to maybe go out there. Now, you wouldn't think that Madison Central would steal third base with no outs, but, look, if Holbrook's still out there and there's 1 out, the potential of him potentially stealing.
Off-speed pitch. A little bit high. Josh Morgan actually is no longer up even with the grass. He's back about 4 steps away
with 2
behind
strikes.
The bag with 2 strikes, and the count goes 3-2 as the fans, at least half of them anyway, weren't happy with that pitch. Here's the payoff pitch on its way with Holbrook at second base. Strike 3 is the call. Strikeout looking, first out of the inning. Give a shout out to William Warford. Made the long trip to Somerset covering baseball. Give him a shout out. Appreciate all the help and the quick tutorial he gave me today. Now batting Josh Wright, the left-handed hitting right fielder. 1 RBI, 1 for 3 last ball game, hitting .378 on the season. And coach, their hitters from top to bottom, all of them over that 300 mark pretty much.
Yeah, and just like I said, you're not going to have a guy that's going to blast one out of here probably. They're contact other way type guys, and especially going to be other way type guys with the way that that Flores and those guys have decided to work the Sayre hitter or the Madison Central hitters, and that's away.
Off-speed pitch, strike one called, 1-1 to count, 1 out. And William just sent me a message telling that East Jessamine won the 12th region in softball, so congratulations to the young ladies over at East Jessamine High School. They'll get to play another week. 1-1 pitch, Holbrook out at second base. And they got him in the rundown. Courtney over to Morgan, gets past Morgan, and Holbrook gets to third base with the first big break of the ball game. That was an error on the throw, probably from Courtney. And, Coach, you were talking about that last ball game where Madison Central takes that big hop.
Yeah,
he hopped at the wrong time, and Flora caught him before he come to the plate and was able to spin move.
Yeah, they try to look and see if you're a one-looker, two-looker, try to get a jump using what is known as the vaulted lead out at second. And
1-1 pitch, ground ball to Jasko. That's going to get Holbrook in easily. Jasko over to Van Balen, but 1 RBI in the books for Josh Wright, who did his job, Coach, and looked like he did that on purpose.
Yeah, he really did. You want to use the middle of the field right there, and make sure that the runner gets in. So here's another speed threat right here in Ben Morin, center fielder, very fast runner.
Ben Morin, a good hitter as well, 371 on the season. Uncharacteristic for him, he was 0 for 2 in the first game, Coach, against Woodford County the other day. First pitch to Morin. Strike called. Ben Morin made a couple of great plays going to right center field in the game against Woodford County. He pops this one up. Out goes Jasko. Jasko, great job out there by him. F4, so 3 outs in the top of the first inning. Madison Central is able to score 1. We'll come back with a leadoff 2 and 3 hitter for the Sayre Spartans in the bottom of the first right after this. Summer Heroes Read. Summer reading kicks off at Scott County Public Library May the 31st. Don't miss Superhero Story. Children. For teens, check out the White Hat computer hacking class, Supervillain costume party, and running the City Police obstacle course. Adults enjoy free Wi-Fi, computer access, books, movies, and music. Relax and recharge at the Scott County Public Library. Check us out at www.scottpublilive.org. Welcome back. Madison Central gets a run. Joe Holbrook walks. Goes to second on a wild pitch. They have him picked off. Floor had him picked off, but a bad throw over to third from Christian Courtney. Allowed him to be safe at third. And then Josh Wright does his job with a little 6-hop ground ball to Mason Jasko to get the run in. So Madison Central, 1 run. That run will be unearned. No hits, 1 error, no runners left on base. And that's one thing about it, Coach. Especially once you get into postseason, you've got to be very, very sound fundamentally from a defensive perspective.
Yeah, you know, runs usually in a regional tournament are at a premium, and you can't give up easy ones, and especially ones that are unearned. So, you know, Sayre's got themselves in a little hole they need to back out of, but you know, they've got the hitters in the offense the way they've been rolling the last couple of weeks to be able to score some runs.
So on the mound for Madison Central is Joe Holbrook, the 5'10 junior, 52 innings pitched, 10 games played, 9 starts, 9-0 on the season, 39 hits, 15 runs, 10 of those earned. 1.329 ERA, and Coach, if there's one thing better than a 1.3 ERA, his strikeout to walk ratio is almost 6-1. It's 58 strikeouts to only 11 walks. So he's going to be around the plate, so you better be swinging. And first up is Aiden Elias. Aiden Elias, what a ball game. Not only did he pitch the 7 innings for the victory, he was also 3 of 4 from the plate with 1 RBI for the junior.
One thing you got to, a little bit with Holbrook here, a lot of times you can be a little too jacked up, a little bit too amped up, and not be able to find the strike zone early in the game.
2-0 pitch. Back up the middle. Morin comes in, then able to adjust just in time as Aiden Elias almost gets it over his head, but F8 in the book, 1 out. That'll bring up Michael Flora. That'll bring up Michael Flora, the pitcher for Sayre tonight. He was 0 for 2, but had 1 RBI in the game against Lafayette. Flora hitting from the left side. And Sayre has got to keep the game close. First pitch high, so Holbrook uncharacteristic. A little bit wild, and I think, Coach, you hit it on the head. A little bit of pumped up a little bit. Juice is flowing, so to speak.
Yeah, and what happens with a pitcher like this, if a lot of times when a guy's wild at the start of the game, if you don't get them early and they settle in, they could be double tough to get to later on in the game. So while he's a little bit wild here and having a little bit of trouble of locating,
count goes 3-0.
Sayre needs to take advantage of it.
And Aiden Elias kind of bailed him out. It was 2-0 to him. He hit the ball pretty good, but right to Ben Moore and out in center field. Here's a 3-0 pitch, taken all the way. Strike called on the outside corner. Here's a 3-1 pitch. That was even more of the plate. Strike 2. We want to give a shout out to Joe Holbrook's brother, Sean. He's out in the Navy in Hawaii on the sub USS Mississippi. So hats off to him. Mom said to say hi. Glad you get to watch the ball game here on PrepSpin.com. And we appreciate all you do for supporting our country. Here's a 3-2 pitch from Holbrook. Popped up down the left field line. Kavanaugh's off to the races. Seth Richardson's going to get there. He's going to make the play. No, he doesn't. As Allison throws his hands up saying foul ball. I was just watching it. YouTube.com/PrepSpin. So the foul ball, the count remains 3-2 to Michael Flora, the number 2 hitter for the Sayre Spartans. Pitch is outside, so Flora works a walk. He'll trot down to first base, and that'll bring up Christian Courtney. What a big ball game for him. He had that big hit, 2 RBI single, his only hit of the ball game against Lafayette on Monday.
Number 14, Christian Courtney.
Mr. McGeorge.
Now running at first base, number 25.
So Christian Courtney, the shortstop, had the throwing error at third base when they had Joe Holbrook dead to rights as he was picked off at second. Chance to redeem himself here at the plate. Holbrook gives Hotchkiss a look over at first base. Pitch high. Swing and a miss, and the count evens up 1-1. Strike 2 called.
Yeah, and it just took Holbrook a little while. You know, he got that strike and then it painted the outside corner right there with a, you know, outside corner on the knees. Very tough pitch for Courtney to try to handle.
Outside corner, and the count evens up 2-2.
And there he went with the same look. It was a slider that Courtney was able to stay off of. Well, after the rain day, we got a really nice crowd in here tonight.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, 1 out, ground ball. It's going to be a chopper. Tough play by Nick Cavanaugh. He's up throwing just in time. Good defensive play by Nick Cavanaugh. You kind of expect that after watching him play for a few years. He's pretty fundamentally sound over at third base for the Indians.
He really is. He very good athlete. You know, made that run through play right there, made it look easy. Got Courtney, who's one of Sayre's faster runners by about a step over there at first.
Next up is Mason Stockham, the designated hitter, 0 for 4, the junior. Where's number 44? Hitting from the right side. 2 outs. They've got Sam Staten out running at second base for Michael Flora. Sam Staten, a freshman for the Spartans. Double check, I think that's Staten. Check for his number 25 out there,
Yeah,
Coach.
I think it is Staten.
So 1-0's the count. Joe Holbrook, uncharacteristically, a little bit wild here. Hadn't hurt him too much. Foul ball off the bat of Stockham, out. Hits on top of the hitting facility here at Henry Clay High School. Dave Bryan says, I need baseballs. So the count's 1-1 here at Chuck Stivers Field, 11th Region Baseball Tournament semifinal. This is the first one. Only one we're going to get in tonight. And the count goes 2-1 as Holbrook a little bit outside.
Now Stockham's in a good hitter's count right here, 2-1. You would think he's going to get a fastball. He can gear himself up for it and try to knock in that tie and run. You know, he's in an advantageous count right here.
Holbrook checks back at Staten. Rocks and fires. Fastball right down the middle. That was mano a mano right there. Good swing by Stockham. And Corey Mullen says, I'm going to go out and talk to you a little bit as the count evens up at 2-2. Josh Morgan brings out 3 baseballs. Now we know Dave Bryan's happy.
Now, you know, Holbrook's in a position where he can go either fastball or slider. You know, in that 2-1 count, he almost had to go fastball there. Didn't want to go 3-1, so now he used
2-2 fastball. Fouled off. Good play over there from the dugout of Madison Central. And the count stays 2-2. Good crowd here, like you were saying, Coach. Didn't expect this many people to be here, but basically both stands are full and the lines down the foul lines, the fence down the foul line, so to speak, is full as well. 2-2 pitch just inside, ball 3. That might have been strike 3 if he catches it. Not for sure. It was that close of a pitch. PA announcer trying to get everybody fired up here a little bit. Here's the payoff pitch, fouled straight back.
And Holbrook went in there, and he's one of the very few, you know, Madison Central guys like to work away. Holbrook's got enough velocity that, you know, occasionally he will stick that fastball back in under your hands. So you have to guard both sides of the plate when you're going against Holbrook.
Here's the payoff pitch again, high. Ball gets away from the catcher. Corey Mullins, going to be a wild pitch. Sam Staten hops on over to third base. And Mason Stockham with the second walk of the inning. Joe Holbrook had only given up 11 walks all season long, 2 of them here in this inning. Now up, Josh Morgan, the sophomore. Great opportunity right here to do some damage, playing third base tonight. a base hit away or an error or pass ball. There's a lot of ways to score from third base to tie this ball game up. First pitch high, ball one.
Coach Barty's going to go out and have a little chat with Joe Holbrook and try to settle him down a little bit. You know, he's not – Madison Central pitchers are usually really good at hitting their spots, and Holbrook's just not sharp right now at hitting the spots that Coach Barty wants him to hit. And I think maybe a little bit potentially could be overthrowing a little bit, a little jacked up, trying to throw the ball a little too hard and missing these spots. You know, a lot of times when things like that happen, when you take a little bit off of it, your location comes back and you're able to find where you want to throw the ball.
So while we got a second, let's go through our list of sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be bringing you the ball games here in the 11th region. I'd like to thank Rebound Orthopedic. Dr. Lyon over in Frankfort has been here from the beginning. Scott County Physical Therapy, Scott County Public Library, Clear Choice Orthodontics, home of Dr. Durbin, Wong, and Gardner, Whitaker Bank, and Madison's on Main over in Versailles, Kentucky. Darren Douglas' new favorite place to eat, he said. They're open, I think, from 6 to 2, Tuesday through Sunday. So we'll see what Coach Barty told Holbrook, see if it paid off. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing, fouled straight back. Morgan just missed that one.
Yeah, it's still there. He was at the top of the strike zone. So, you know, I know Coach Barty and Coach Roof want him to work the bottom end of the strike zone instead of being up at the top end of that strike zone. So
what are some of the reasons, Coach, why you would be letting the ball go high? Is it just not stretching out far enough?
Yeah, you need a lot of times you maybe need to stride a little farther when you're up. And secondly, you know, when you're going out of the stretch, a lot of times your body goes forward before your arm does, and your arm's dragging behind your body, and it causes you to release the ball high.
So 2-1 is the count. Sam Staten over at third base. Mason Stockham over at first base. There's the shot right down the right field line. Is it going to be fair? Just foul. That would have gave the lead to the Spartans, and with Stockham off to the races, he might have been able to score as well. But baseball, coach, as we know, is a game, a matter of inches. That one there just fouls. Dave Snyder had the perfect view of the call. So 2-2 the count. Kevin Clary goes through the signs again. Do you start Stockham right here?
I don't, just because the fact that if it's a ball, Stockham's probably going to get thrown out at third or
Swing and a
second.
miss on the outside corner is the pitch from Joe Holbrook. So Josh Morgan almost had a base hit. Instead, he goes down on strikes here in the first inning. So 1 inning in the book. Madison Central 1, Sayre 0. We'll come back for the 5, 6, 7 hitter for Madison Central when we return here on PrepSpin.com.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's the winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now, there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach, honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Believe that.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Madison Central, number 27, designated hitter.
Welcome back for the top of the second inning. Leading off for the Indians is Isaac Swafford, the designated hitter. 0 for 2 against Woodford County. First pitch from Flora. Strike one called. Turned out to be a great night here. 66 degrees, partly cloudy. Wind looks dead right now. according to the flags out in center field. Swing and a miss for Swofford. Darren Douglas texted me and said he will be eating breakfast there at Madison's on Main in Versailles. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Michael Floor. Off speed, just outside. Ball one.
Yeah, and to a left-handed hitter, a lot of times the pitch to use is not the breaking ball that moves into him, but the changeup. And Floor's got a really good changeup. That's probably his money pitch.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Changeup again. Fouled. Swofford just got the bat on that one. The PA announcer's got that quick trigger finger on the mouse today. He's got a lot of pent-up energy, having to sit through 3 hours to get this ball game started. And Swofford stays alive, and the count remains 1-2.
So started six last night, so I guess he's got 27 hours under his belt.
Yep. He's fired up. Off-speed pitch again. He wins it. Took 3 of them, but finally he gets Isaac Swofford to strike out on a swing and miss. First out of the inning, and that'll bring up Seth Richardson. Richardson 1 for 3, the left fielder was against Woodford County, batting .310 on the season. Got hit in the helmet with the pitch the other day. Looks like no harm, no foul on that one. So Floor getting the signs from Van Balen. First pitch swinging, foul over top of the hitting facility. Down the right field line. Madison Central with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. Chuck Stivers Field, at the Chuck, as they like to call it. 11th Region Baseball Tournament on PrepSpin.com. Mike Ritchie, Scott Willard, bringing the ball games tonight. Gary Ball still trying to get healthy. William Warfield not with us tonight. Other obligations as he head down to Pulaski County. Or in Southern Kentucky. I'm not sure if it's Pulaski County or McCreary Central where he went to, but
I think Wayne.
He had other obligations. Don't know if he was doing the baseball or the softball. And that pitch there evens the count at 2-2. Glad to be using the technology of PrepSpin.com and YouTube to be bringing you the 11th Region this year. Fly ball to right field. Underneath of it is James Dupree. And with the catch, makes it 2 outs. That'll bring up Griffin Hotchkiss. Came in to play first base and batted 1 time. Didn't get a hit, hitting .250 on the season, playing first base tonight. Griffin Hotchkiss is a great defensive first baseman. First pitch, outside corner. That one there got away, and you'll get a hit batsman.
And what happens, it seems like these guys maybe were trying to overthrow their breaking ball a little bit. We've had some 2 or 3 breaking balls, a couple on both sides, get away from guys. Hit a batter. One got away from 4 in the first inning, and one got away from Holbrook in the bottom of the first. So, just maybe gripping it a little too tight. Trying to throw it a little too hard and really having a tough time finding a feel on their breaking ball.
With Hotchkiss over at first base, that'll bring up Corey Mullins, the catcher. First pitch with the steal attempt and the errant throw. Hotchkiss is going to stay at second, so a stolen base on the ball. We'll get Griffin Hotchkiss, and it didn't take Coach Ruth long to get active on the bases, did it?
No, it's a lot easier to do that stuff. You got a 1-0 lead. You're feeling pretty good, with the lead out there. Now you get down a couple of runs. A lot of times that negates people's running game. But when you're up, you feel like Madison Central is one of their great attributes is team speed, and feel like they can steal some bases.
Strike the call. Corey Mullins finds himself even in the count at 1-1. Coach Withers down at third base coaching third base for the Indians. Coach Barty, the pitching coach, over at first base. Coach Roof decides to stay in the dugout. He gives all the signals from the dugout. They go to the number system, which I think has been a good new thing, in my opinion, in baseball.
Hard to steal signs when you change your numbers and things like that. And there's some old school coaches around that would really could get signs, and it's very difficult.
Hotchkiss gets that hopping lead. He had third base stolen, but Mullins, with the count 1-2, has to swing at it and fouls it straight back in the base. And he had a good hopping lead out there, and he was going to get third easily. Off-speed pitch a little bit high. The Sayre fans thought that was a bad call. The Central fans thought it was a good call. That's baseball. We've got deuces on the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Corey Mullins, the catcher for the Indians, at the plate. John Van Balen sets up outside. The pitch goes inside. Mullins fouls it off down the right field line. James Dupree's underneath of it in foul territory for the catch. So Dupree gets credit for 2 putouts in the inning. And the Indians strand Hotchkiss down at second base. So through 1.5, Madison Central 1. Sayre 0. We'll be back for the bottom of the second after this.
Well, there's a big name we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Welcome back to the 11th Region Baseball Tournament here at the Chuck, as they like to call it, Chuck Stivers Field, on the campus of Henry Clay High School. Moving into the bottom of the second inning, Madison Central with the lead, 1-0. The Spartans of Sayre, they'll be sending their 6, 7, 8 hitter to the plate. That would be John Van Balen, Sam Van Balen, and James Dupree, who had 2 putouts in the top of the second inning. And Coach, inning and a half into it, looks like both teams are kind of getting accustomed to, and I don't see any ill effects to that long rain delay.
No, I didn't think there would be. Both these guys are great coaches, and you knew when the first pitch went out that both teams would be ready to play. It's just, we're just like you said, a game of inches. The ball that Morgan hits, it's a foot farther left. It's fair, and it's 1-1 and possibly 2-1 Sayre. So, most high school baseball games, when it comes down to regional tournament time, is who can get that 2-out hit.
Right. So batting for Sayre, leading off the bottom of the second, John Van Balen, the catcher, 2 for 3 and 1 RBI against Lafayette. First pitch, a ball. Second pitch, outside, just a hair, ball 2. And Holbrook comes out again. A little bit less control than he's used to. I think that's safe to say. With 58 strikeouts, only 11 walks coming in the ball game. He finds a strike zone there when the count goes 2-1. Coach Keith Galloway in the house in front of us. High, ball 3. His Eagles will not play until tomorrow. Unsure what time that game will start. All depends on the outcome of this one, if they get it in or not. He'll be taking on the Blue Devils of Henry Clay, the host school. Strike 2 the call, and the count goes full, 3-2. Foul ball. Clary picks it up, throws it into the central dugout. Well, lobs it into the central dugout. Yeah. I think safe to say. 3-2 pitch on its way from Holbrook to John Van Balen outside. And the third walk of the ball game. As Holbrook still struggling to find the plate. Again, shout out to his brother Sean, who's in the Navy on the submarine Mississippi in Hawaii. His other brother Danny's going to be watching down in the Carolinas. Mom said to tell both of you hi. She would talk to you, but she's keeping the scorebook with Joe on the mound tonight.
Never know here, but look with Sayre with the leadoff hitter on. possibly sacrifice here and try to move the guy over.
First pitch swinging off the end of the bat over to Gordon. Brian Gordon with a good play right there. The runners advance, so John Van Balen, thanks to his brother Sam, will advance down to second base. Sam Van Balen will be out 4-3 for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, James Dupree.
And what happens there, you know, Holbrook got in on him, jammed him hard, got him to hit it to the right side, but the way the ball was hit, as good as a bunt, the runner was able to advance, and Sayre's got the tying run out there in scoring position.
With one out, James Dupree, first pitch from Holbrook, off speed. Looked like a curveball, didn't it, Coach?
Yes. Curveball slider. I think he's more of a slider type pitcher than a curveball, and you know, Sayre's got to recognize that and be able to stay off that slider.
Unfamiliar territory for him. He's actually ahead in the count at 0-1. Dave Bryan says that one just missed, and the count evens up at 1-1. Great night for baseball after the rain got through. And it kind of puts a lot of pressure on you running the tournament. When it starts raining, you got the state tournament starts on Monday, and they're not going to reschedule the state tournament, are they?
Not at all.
There's the pitch from Dupree. He gets a lot of it down the left field line. Is it going to be fair or foul? It's out of the park, but as we were talking about earlier, a matter of inches. That sucker was out by about 30 feet, but it was about 4 feet foul when it went over the fence. So Dupree got his pitch. Holbrook, sigh of relief. And I know Coach Ruth breathing a sigh of relief over in that dugout.
Yeah, he got the ball. Holbrook threw him in. And just like I said, Holbrook's one of the Madison Central pitchers that will come in. And he came in, and Dupree got turned on it very quickly.
Holbrook, only a junior, but very seasoned out on the mound. He pitched a lot of big ball games for him last year. Pitched the semifinal game to get him into the region finals. Off-speed pitch outside, and the count 2-2.
You would think after hitting a fastball that far, he was getting slider next pitch.
That's a pretty easy call, wasn't it? So 2-2, one out here, bottom of the second inning.
Don't be surprised if he doesn't get him another slider right here.
Yep. John Van Balen out at second base. At the plate, James Dupree, 2-2. He's already hit a foul ball out of the park about 30 feet. And outside, he drops the ball. Mullins up quickly, looks the runner back, throws him out at first. So a strikeout. 2-3 on the putout. Second out of the inning. That'll bring up Mason Jasko. Hey, Coach, one thing about Sayre, when they do well in this postseason, Mason Jasko is getting on the base. I know he got on the base a couple times and scored against Scott County in the district. He got on the base and scored against Lafayette.
Looks like Coach Kevin Clary's going to run out at second base.
For the catcher, John Van Balen. And it's going to be number 20. That's going to be Will Lane.
Now pitch running at second base, number 20, Will Lane.
And Jasko's doing a good, you know, the one thing we might come up here and Jasko might swing at 3 balls that he couldn't hit with a boat oar, but for the most part all year, Jasko has swung at strikes, and, you know, he's been an integral part of their offense because he gets on base, not only hitting it, but walking also.
No, he was 2 for 3 against Lafayette, and again, when your 9-hitter can get on the base 2 times in a ball game to set up the top of the order, that's usually huge for you. He fouls that one back off the net on the first base side. Aiden Elias runs over and picks it up. And Dave Bryan doesn't realize that he's picking it up. So now he realizes it. Lets Aiden give him the baseball and pick up his bat, and we're back to live action here. 0-1 the count. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Will Lane, courtesy runner for Van Balen, out at second base. Strike 2 the call. Jasko behind the count big time now, 0-2. And with that slider that Joe Holbrook calls, that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, and Jasko's right up on the plate, so you would look for something, maybe a slider under his hands or a fastball under his hands to try to jam him, because he is, I don't know if you can tell, but Jasko is right up on the plate.
0-2 pitch, outside fastball. 1-2 is the count here in the 11th Region Baseball Tournament on PrepSpin.com. Mike Ritchie, Scott Willard. Shout out to Gary Ball recuperating at home. And a shout out to William Warfield watching the game on the internet on his way back from Southern Kentucky. 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Will Lane getting a good secondary lead out there on second base. He was a good 30 feet off the bag when the pitch hit the mid of the catcher. Staying alive as he fouls it straight back. On deck, back to the top of the lineup, Aiden Elias, the leadoff hitter. Great ball game for him, 3 for 4 at the plate. Hit a shot that almost got over the head of Ben Morin, but you don't hear that very often. Nothing really gets over his head. Great job defensively out there by the senior center fielder, Ben Morin. Mullen sets up outside corner. We'll see what Holbrook does. He hit the mitt right where he was. Must have been just a little bit outside. The count goes full. So payoff pitch coming up right here. What are you calling, Coach?
They're going to go fastball. You know, it's a 9-hitter. They're going to go fastball. And, you know, I think it's going to be one of those mano-a-mano. They're going to go fastball, and I think Jasko knows the fastball's coming.
So here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Jasko able to get a piece of it to stay alive. No hits yet in the ball game. The Indians scored with a leadoff walk in the first inning. The Spartans strand runners at the corner in their bottom of the first inning and didn't score. There's the pitch, popped up. Hotchkiss calling off Gordon. Hotchkiss one-handed makes the play. So F3 in the books for the third out of the inning. So through 2 complete, your score. Madison Central 1, Sayre 0 here on PrepSpin.com. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back for the top of the third right after this.
Beat the heat and ban the same old routine this summer. Find out more during one-tank trips and other adventures at the Scott County Public Library starting June 4th at 7 p.m. Discover family-friendly events, easy on the pocketbook, including festivals, historic sites, arts, cafes, and historic shrines and recreation parks 95 miles or less from Georgetown. Stop by the Scott County Public Library for all your information.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know. Frank Shoot, Frank Shoot, Frank Shoot, Shoot.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoop in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
Frank Shoot, Frank Shoot, Frank Shoot, Shoot. He's big on service and he's big on deals. Frank Shoot, Shoot. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoot's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoot is gonna set the pace.
Welcome back for the top of the third inning here in the 11th Region Baseball Tournament on PrepSpin.com. Leading off is the shortstop, the number 9 hitter, Jeremy Lakes. On deck, the pitcher, Joe Holbrook, and in the hole, Nick Cavanaugh. First pitch from Flora, swinging a little bit early as that one's a rocket off the front of the dugout. So the count 0-1. Here's the pitch from Flora. Van Balen outside. Off-speed pitch hitting the gap. Is Dupree going to be able to run it down? No, he's not. So Jeremy Lakes off to the races. Up with it is Dupree. He fires it in to Aiden Elias, who was the cutoff man. I'm sorry, the second baseman. Mason Jasko was the cutoff man, and Jeremy Lakes gives his protective equipment to Coach Withers and goes out with the leadoff stand-up double.
Flora hung the breaking ball, left it up in the strike zone, and Lakes did a great job of hitting that thing right in the right center field gap. Exactly what you're supposed to do with a breaking ball. Take that thing the other way. Did a great job and hit it a long way out there in right center. Now, Madison Central's in a position they can do a lot of things. You know, they can with Lakes has great speed out there at second. Holbrook could bunt to get him over. They could, let him just try to hit the ball the other way. Potentially in a minute steal third. So they have a lot of possibilities here for Madison Central in their half of the third.
So with Jeremy Lakes with the leadoff stand-up double out at second base, Joe Holbrook, the pitcher, walked and scored in the first inning. Josh Morgan, even with the bag, at third base. Flora keeping Lakes close. Out at second base. Your score, Madison Central 1, Sayre 0. We're in the top of the third inning here. Joe Holbrook says, I'll take a timeout. He wants to give me time to shout out to his brother Sean out in Hawaii. Now he's back ready to go. Here's the pitch. He squares around. He bunts it up in the air. John Van Balen, nice play as he goes all out with the dive to make the catch. So F2 in the books. And, Coach, that was just a good play. Bad bunt, but good play.
Just not good execution on the side of Madison Central right there. Got to get that bunt down on the ground and give a chance to advance the runner.
So Nick Cavanaugh at the plate with the runner still at second base in the form of Jeremy Lakes. Cavanaugh struck out looking in the first inning. And Flora very, very deliberate out on the mound. And that's the second time the Indians have called timeout. Courtney hold him on out at second base. First pitch off speed in the dirt. Ball one. Josh Wright, the RBI ground out in the first inning, is on deck for the Indians. The junior right fielder. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Cavanaugh. I don't think he was trying to just put that one in play. I think he was swinging for the downs on that one.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to kick a field goal through the uprights out there.
One problem, as you know, Coach, it's hard to hit that ball when it's above your hands, isn't it?
Really is.
So we're in the top of the third inning, kind of slowing the pace down. Michael Flora taking his time. The Indians at the plate are calling timeout quite a bit.
Real game of cat and mouse going on out there with Lakes being able to run. Courtney trying to hold. Flora making sure, using some inside moves out there to make sure they don't get a jump on him. Just a litany of things going on out there. The little idiosyncrasies of baseball that go on, the little game within the game.
So we're finally going to get the 1-1 pitch. Cavanaugh tries to stick out that chicken wing to get hit with it. Instead, it's ball two, and the count goes 2-1. So Nick Cavanaugh at the plate. Jeremy Lakes down at second base had a leadoff double. Holbrook unable to do a sacrifice bunt. He popped it up. Good play by Van Balen. Morgan backhands it, but foul.
And Lakes is really working on his lead out there, trying to read forward, trying to get a jump. Madison Central's really looking to trying to steal third base right here. So as you can see right here with 2 strikes, Lakes has even opened up his lead a little further out there.
Cavanaugh, ball in the air down right field. Looks like it's going to be out of play. Mason Jasko had the open hand play out from second base that time. He thought he had the beat to the bag. Flora did not see it.
And the one thing that, it's nice that the Sayre middle infielders are doing that and trying to keep it from stealing third, but they got to make sure they get back into position when the ball's thrown.
He's got him. Second pickoff. Over to Morgan at third. Lakes is going to stay alive. Courtney's going to try to run him down. Instead, he flips it over to Michael Flora for the out. So a great job by Michael Flora, and Jeremy Lakes really very, very overconfident with that hopping lead out there. And for that, he gets the put out on the tag from Michael Flora at third base for the second out of the inning. And again, it's good to be aggressive, but it's not very good to be overly aggressive, is it?
No, and Coach Clary and the Sayre players are been well schooled on what to do on that what they call the vaulted lead out there. When he starts to vault,
Kavanaugh swinging a miss.
Flora will stop their feet and just spin right back at him.
No damage. And Sayre able to execute the pickoff play to perfection this time. So through 3.5. It's Madison Central 1, Sayre 0. We'll be back right after this on the PrepSpin.com.
Summer Heroes Read. Summer reading kicks off at Scott County Public Library May the 31st. Don't miss superhero story times for children. For teens, check out the White Hat computer hacking class, supervillain costume party, and running the city police obstacle course. Adults enjoy free Wi-Fi, computer access, books, movies, and music. Relax and recharge at the Scott County Public Library. Check us out at www.scottpublive.org.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's the winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach, honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Can't believe that.
Welcome back as we go to the bottom of the third inning here at Chuck Stivers Field, campus of Henry Clay High School. 1-0 is the score. Madison Central with the lead. Sayre at the top of the lineup with Aiden Elias, Michael Flora, Christian Courtney. First pitch to Elias, off-speed pitch, strike one.
Yeah, and that was a good sign for Madison Central that Holbrook was able to come right in there and throw his breaking ball for a strike.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball way outside. Elias goes for it. And if there's anybody listening in Richmond that's missing a cowbell, know where they're at. They're right here in front of us as the Madison Central fans making a lot of noise here tonight. Ball one, just a little bit in the dirt. So Sayre stranded 3 runners through 2 innings. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed, breaks in there. Thought it might have been a little bit high going over the top, but strike 3 the call. 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. That'll bring up Michael Flora. Flora walked, stranded at third in the first inning. Actually, Sam Staten was stranded at third as he went into courtesy run for Flora, who's pitching, and Holbrook's kind of found the zone right here, 4 strikes in a row.
Yeah, 3 walks in the first 2 innings, and Sayre had some opportunities, not able to capitalize, and, well, they sure don't want to.
Flora gets a hold of that one. That's going to get in the gap. Good try out there by the right fielder, Josh Wright. Morin up with the throw. It's offline, and Flora stand-up double. He hit that one pretty well. I thought Josh Wright had a good beat on it, but he ran out of real estate, and the ball goes off the wall. That'll bring in Sam Staten to courtesy run again with 1 out. Sam Staten will be out at second base, and Christian Courtney, the number 3 hitter, ground out to Kavanaugh on a nice play. On the chopper to third base, Kavanaugh makes a great play in that first inning. Mason Stockton will be on deck, and Sayre threatening again. And like you say, Coach, against good teams, when you get your opportunity, you have to come through, don't you?
Yeah, and the big thing is, just like I said earlier, a lot of baseball games are won and lost on who can get that 2-out hit or get that big hit with guys in scoring position. So, last inning, Madison Central had the leadoff double and stranded him. Here's a one-out double right here, and see what Sayre can do with it.
Here's the pitch off speed, inside corner, strike. Got a shout out from Gary Durbin over at the Legends, saying he's enjoying the broadcast, enjoying the quality that PrepSpin allows you to bring on YouTube. Good high def picture. Chopper right back to Holbrook, Staten off on the pitch. And a good job by Hotchkiss right there. Christian Courtney ran right into him, but Hotchkiss did a great job, and he's paid for that one. He got hit pretty hard as the throw from Holbrook carried him off the base. So Christian Courtney hit the chopper back to Joe Holbrook. He comes up with the throw, throws the ball a little bit high, and unfortunately, it was right in the path of the base. So when Hotchkiss went up to get it, when he come down, he and Christian Courtney met right at first base. The out was recorded, but the damage done to Griffin Hotchkiss, so we hope the young man's okay.
What happened there a little bit, too, is Courtney had to wait because of the fact that Hotchkiss was playing way off the base.
Right.
And had to wait for him to get there, and then Hotchkiss was a little late getting there, and then, he caught the ball, and then bam, collision. Nothing malicious on the part of Courtney. It was just he was running hard through the base, and Hotchkiss got there late. So it was a good baseball play. Nothing, there was no, just like you said, nothing malicious there on the part of Courtney. It was just a good hard baseball play.
And a great job by the training staff here at Henry Clay. They were out there really quick to check on Griffin. It looks like he's going to be okay. When play resumes, Mason Stockham will be batting. The designated hitter walked in the first. 0 for 4 last night, and a good round of applause for the Madison Central first baseman, Griffin Hotchkiss. And Corey Mullins decides to take some time to go out to talk to Joe Holbrook on the mound. Says, don't worry about it. And Mason Stockham will come to the plate with 2 outs. The Spartans threatening again. They stranded 2 in the first. Stranded runners at first and third. In the second, they stranded a runner at second base, and here they got a runner on third again. So 3 innings, 3 opportunities for the Spartans. They've yet to cash in. We'll see what they can do right here. And here's the first pitch to Stockham. Off speed in the dirt outside. Ball 1.
Really good block right there by Mullins. That thing was probably a foot and a half outside and in the dirt. And he squared it up and dropped it right in front of him like he's supposed to.
And Darren and I were talking in the last ball game Monday how you take the catchers in the 11th region for granted. There's some good catchers in this region.
They're really good defensive catchers, good throwers. And once again, another good job by Mullins.
2 pitches, both in the dirt, and the count goes 2-0.
And, the tough thing there is, you can get it blocked, but a lot of times catchers are not quick enough to get there, and it glances off one side or the other. Mullins has done a great job of getting it squared up and dropping it right in front of him.
So Holbrook out of the stretch. Ground ball to Cavanaugh. He's up in time. Is the throw going to be there? It's high. And Hotchkiss is able to get back down on it. So 2 great plays by Griffin Hotchkiss. 5-3 in the books, 3 outs. And the Spartans strand another runner at third base. So 3 complete. Your score, Madison Central. They've got 1. Sayre 0. We'll be back for the 11th Region Baseball Tournament here on PrepSpin.com right after this.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Summer Heroes Read. Summer reading kicks off at Scott County Public Library May the 31st. Don't miss superhero story times for children. For teens, check out the White Hat computer hacking class, supervillain costume party, and running the city police obstacle course. Adults enjoy free Wi-Fi, computer access, books, movies, and music. Relax and recharge at the Scott County Public Library. Check us out at www.scottpublilive.org.
Welcome back to the top of the fourth inning here at Chuck Stivers Field. Leading off for the Indians, number 3, 4, and 5, Josh Wright, the right fielder. Grounded out to the second baseman, got an RBI for it as he brought in Joe Holbrook from third base. First pitch off speed and strike called.
Yeah, good breaking ball there for Florida to start off the top of the fourth inning.
A one pitch. Whoa! That might be an E1. Instead, they're going to go in the book as a home run off the bat of Josh Wright. And one thing about it, Coach, he didn't get cheated on that pitch. He drove it deep. It was probably out by a good 30 feet out in right center field.
Yeah, and what people don't realize, there's a big net out there, too, and he hit it not only over the fence, over the net, and up in the top of the trees in right field.
So Joe Holbrook, great swing right there. Madison Central increases the lead to 2-0. I was getting ready to say both teams kind of mirroring each other. A lot of opportunities, runners stranded out at second and third between the first 3 innings, but Josh Wright says, I'm not going to be stranded, I'm going to score myself. And the thing about that wasn't a cheap home run. That went over top of the net in right center field, and that was a shot. First pitch to Ben Morin. The center fielder takes ball, or strike one, the call from Dave Bryan behind the plate. Morin popped up to Mason Jasko for the last out of the first inning. Off-speed pitch high there. Count evens up at 1-1. Off-speed pitch. Morin tried to do a good job of staying getting that chicken wing out there, trying to get hit with that off-speed pitch. 2-1 is the count. Fouled straight back. So the count evens up at 2-2. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Indians. No runs, 1 hit for the Spartans. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Off speed again. Rolls over top of the numbers. Ball called, 3-2.
Well, Michael Flora wanted that pitch. He thought he'd thrown the perfect breaking ball. Dave Bryan said no.
So here comes the payoff pitch with no outs here. Outside corner, he gives him that one. Strike 3 called, and the Central fans not happy as the first out of the inning is a called strike 3 to Ben Morin. That'll bring up Isaac Swafford. The designated hitter struck out for the first out in the second, hitting from the left side. First pitch fouled straight back. Just missed that one. Again, only one game here tonight. That's the one you're watching. Madison Central leading Sayre 2-0 in the top of the fourth inning. Count evens up 1-1. The Lexington Christian Academy Henry Clay ball game will be played tomorrow. We'll get the game time for you at some point when the final decision is made. And we'll have that game for you on PrepSpin.com. Ground ball to Sam Van Balen. He gets it by himself and beats him by a step for an unassisted putout of Isaac Swafford. 2 outs in the inning, and Seth Richardson, the left fielder, up for the Indians as he flew out to James Dupree in right field.
You know, what a lot of people don't realize is not only does Madison Central, have Morin can really run in center field, but Wright and Richardson that flank him and left and right can also really fly also. They got 3 really fast outfielders.
First pitch taken, ball 1. Strike called. Here's the 1-1 pitch, off speed, outside and low, ball 2. The count goes 2-1. Morgan playing even with the bag at third, swinging a miss for Richardson, the count 2-2. Now Morgan to back up with 2 outs. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Curveball fouled and picked up by Coach Steve Roof with the left hand. If you get a chance, get over and check out Gary Durbin and his Lexington Legends. Part of the Kansas City Royal organization. Good baseball over there, night in, night out. When you get over there, tell him we at PrepSpin.com mentioned it. But go over and watch some of the Lexington Legends. Always a fun night at the ballpark at Whitaker Bank Ballpark on the north side of Lexington. As Richardson gets a ball call and a walk. Griffin Hotchkiss had a tough third inning for him. Had a collision with Christian Courtney. Good play for the last out on the high pick of the Kavanaugh throw. He's able to go up and get it, get down to the bag before the runner crossed the bag for the out. Pick-off play from Flora, keeping Richardson close. Hotchkiss batting .250. Hit by pitch and stole second in his first plate appearance. Flora worried about Richardson over there.
Yeah, and Richardson got really good speed at first base, and you would expect at sometime in this at-bat that Richardson will be rolling.
So 2-0 is your score. We're in the top of the 4th inning here at Chuck Stivers Field, Henry Clay High School. 11th Region Baseball on PrepSpin.com. And Flora got to put a mask on Sam Van Balen. Move the hitter down to first base. That's 3 pickoff moves in a row. Madison Central, 1 run in the first, 1 run up to this point in the 4th, and that was a big home run off the bat of Josh Wright. As he guessed curveball, Flora hung it, and Josh Wright hit it about 370 in right center field. 2 outs, the ball is behind Hotchkiss, and Richardson easily down 2.
I think that was a direct correlation of Richardson being on first, the ability to be able to run, Flora trying to get to the plate too quickly, 4 or 5 pickoff attempts, and next thing you know, cuts one loose wild, and they get Madison Central gets where they need to be anyway.
So while Kevin Clary comes out talking to his junior pitcher, Michael Flora, we'll give a shout out to Rebound Orthopedics, Dr. Lyon over at Frankfort. Scott County Physical Therapy, Scott County Public Library, Clear Choice Orthodontics, home of Dr. Durbin, Wong, and Garner, Whitaker Bank, and Madison's on Main. Down in Versailles, Kentucky, open Tuesday through Sunday, 6 to 2. If you get there in the morning for breakfast, you'll see Double D, Darren Douglas. His favorite place to eat in Versailles is what he told me. Didn't offer to invite me down to eat for free, but that's Darren Douglas. Chris Minner in the building. He didn't come up here to say hi. He acted like he wanted to come up and say hi, but really he's up here in case there's some rain. One of the better umpires in the 11th and 10th region. Don't tell him I said that.
Anybody that was All-American inside linebacker at Eastern Kentucky University shouldn't be worried about a little rain.
I'm telling you. So the count's 1-0 to Hotchkiss. The first pitch behind his head. This one in the dirt. And Flora spending a little much too much effort worried about Seth Richardson. And like you say, Coach, speed kills, especially if you can get it on first base, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. it affects everybody out there in the game.
Two-0 pitch. Strike called on the knees. 2 outs here, top of the 4th inning. 2-0 is the score. Holbrook scores in the 1st inning with a walk, or leads off with a walk and winds up scoring on a ground ball from Josh Wright. Josh Wright comes up in the 4th, hits one about 370 feet over right center field, over the net for his 2nd RBI, and Hotchkiss gets hit on the elbow. So Griffin Hotchkiss is a ball magnet at the plate. He's been hit twice.
And hit it first by Courtney. So he might need to go get some pads from the football coach down there at Madison Central.
He might need a doctor's note for a day off tomorrow to heal. Corey Mullins now coming up to the plate. Flew out to James Dupree in right field for the 3rd out in the 2nd with Hotchkiss down at 2nd base. Strands him. Now the Indians have Richardson down at 2nd. Hotchkiss over at 1st. Sam Van Balen not holding him on at 1st, so he gets a pretty good lead with 2 outs. First pitch swinging to Christian Courtney. Ups over to Jasko, and no more damage is done as the fielder's choice gets Griffin Hotchkiss out at 2nd base for the 3rd out of the inning. So a little bit of a damage done. 1 run in for the Indians on 1 hit. That was a home run off the bat of Josh Wright. So through 4.5, your score. Madison Central 1, Sayre 0. We'll be back on PrepSpin.com with more 11 Region Baseball after this.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
All right. Here's a real bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's the winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now there's a Whitaker bank shot. I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Can't believe that.
Welcome back to the 11th Region Baseball Tournament here at the Chuck at Henry Clay High School. Mike Ritchie, Scott Willard, we're PrepSpin.com. Bringing you all the 11th Region Baseball action here on PrepSpin.com. Thanks to YouTube. William Warfield doing a great job, giving us the technical wherewithal to bring you the broadcast here tonight. Scott Willard and myself, Mike Ritchie, very happy to be bringing the ball game to you. Hope you're enjoying it. The Spartans will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitter up this inning. That would be Josh Morgan, John Van Balen, and Sam Van Balen. They find themselves down 2-0, and Coach, they've got to do some scoring right here. Had a lot of runners on base. They stranded 4 runners up to this point.
Sayre's had that couple opportunities to score a couple of runs.
Timeout. We got something going on down in right field.
I don't know if we got the proper protection going on with the pitcher. We got a guy out of the dugout down there, down the right field line. So if he's going to be out, he's got to have if he's going to be out throwing, he's got to have a guy with a helmet out there with him. So just make sure they get the proper protection, keep the kids protected.
Again, I'd like to give another shout out to Rebound Orthopedics, Dr. Lyon over in Frankfort. Been with us for almost all 7 years of us bringing the 11th Region Baseball Tournament to you. And here's the first pitch to Josh Morgan. High, ball 1. Your line score out here. Madison Central, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Henry Clay, no runs, 1 hit. I keep saying Henry Clay, Coach. Sayre, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and Morgan hits it deep. Off the wall, Josh Morgan. They're going to make him stop at second, but that thing hit the net. That should be a home run, isn't it?
No, in the net. In the net here is in play.
So Josh Morgan, opposite field coach, hit that one about 375. Wow. Stand-up double. I was going to give him a home run, but it did hit the net. And Ben Moore did a great job of playing it live and keeping Morgan out at second base. Now batting John Van Balen. walk, stranded at second in the second inning. First pitch swinging, fouled straight back. What pitch did Morgan hit off of Holbrook there?
Looked like a fastball up and away, and really did a great job of going with it and hitting it into the net. You know, another couple of feet to the left, there's no net there, and that ball is over the fence and out, but in the net is playable here at Henry Clay.
0-1 pitch, outside corner, swing and a miss. You got a pitcher warming up down in the Madison Central Indian bullpen. Looked like number 20, Kyle Kelsey, but not for sure. 0-2 is the count to John Van Balen. Here's the 0-2 pitch in the dirt outside. John Van Balen able to hold up the swing. The count goes 1-2.
I don't know how much Mullins weighs, but he's been worth his weight in gold back there behind the plate tonight.
The winner of this one advances to the championship game of the 11th region. They'll take on the winner of LCA, Henry Clay. Pop up in the middle, almost in no man's land. The ball hits in the ground, and that's going to be an infield hit for John Van Balen. And again, Coach, he couldn't have thrown that out there any better, could he?
No, just a perfectly placed ball. Now you're looking at Sayre here, potentially bunting the guys over to second and third, and you know, with the opportunity to pick up a run with a hit, tying the baseball game up. So, you know, traditional baseball wisdom here says in the bottom of the fourth that you bunt and move the two runners up.
So Kavanaugh, as you can see, Coach, he's right even with the grass, and he's kind of angled to where he can see the runner at second base and still see the batter. So you don't want that guy at second to sneak in behind him. John Van Balen over at first base. Josh Morgan out at second, not much of a lead. Sam squares around the bunt. He gets it down. Good bunt. Holbrook has to come up barehanded. And the throw over top of the head of Griffin Hotchkiss, but the second baseman, Ryan Gordon, there for the putout. So a good sack bunt by Sam Van Balen. 1-4 if you're scoring in the book. First out of the inning, but the runners advance. And now if you're Madison Central, Coach Barty comes out to talk to his Indians, but he's probably telling them, look, be watching maybe for the suicide squeeze here?
You know, I think he's probably telling them, you know, let's don't get too fancy on a ground ball. Let's get it out. You know, we got the 8 and 9 hitters up here. Let's don't, you know, do something to give them a really big inning. Let's take the outs where they're at. If they do squeeze, let's get the out at first base and let the guys dead at the plate. But let's just make sure that whatever happens here, we get an out.
So basically you think he's going to play his infielders in the position to give up a run for an out?
Give up a run for an out here, most definitely. Unless the ball's hit right at a corner infielder.
Right.
You know, the middle infielder's going to be back. I'd say the corner infielder's going to be up. If they get a hard hit ball right at them and the guy takes off from third, you got to play at the plate. But it looks like even the first and third basemen are way back. So they're definitely giving up a run for an out right here.
And James Dupree has to do his job right here. He struck out.
The big thing with Dupree here is you got to make sure you don't strike out. You've got to get the ball in play somewhere hard on the ground.
Here's the pitch from Holbrook. Down Peachtree Street, strike one.
Like a little Bill Needle there.
Strike one. Holbrook ahead in the count. 0-1 with one out here to the number 8 hitter, James Dupree. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball. Hit it hard just a little bit early. And now it's a guessing game. Holbrook has a great slider, off-speed pitch. And Dupree has to battle.
And here's the thing about it with, you know, if you don't have confidence in your catcher, you don't throw the slider in the dirt. But with the way that Mullins has been blocking the baseball, you don't worry about throwing a slider in the dirt right here. You know he's going to get it blocked.
Fastball outside corner. Mullins was set up way outside. Holbrook knows he got away with one as that had too much of the plate.
Yeah, missed location. He was set up way outside, and Mullins had to reach back inside where he was going to catch the ball. He caught a lot of. He wanted it not even near anywhere where he could foul that thing off.
Ground ball down the line. It's through. 1 run in. John Van Balen holds at third. And James Dupree out at second. So running miscue for the Spartans. Josh Morgan is able to score. John Van Balen has to hold up at third base. James Dupree gets a single with an RBI, but thrown out. 5-4 trying to get to second base. Second out of the inning. Coach can't afford. I thought John Van Balen was going to get the signal to score, but.
Well, what happened there is John Van Balen had to hold on third because the ball was, in front of him. He's got to make sure the ball goes through, so he had to hold to make sure the ball went through. Then he was able to advance to third, and Richardson did a great job of getting on the ball out there in left field quickly. And just the little things of baseball, of Richardson coming up, hitting Kavanaugh, the cutoff man, instead of trying to he
airmail it to home. Yep.
Airmail it to home where Dupree could have moved up. He hit the cutoff man. Kavanaugh was able to throw it over to second and get the second out of the inning. Really good. You can tell when a team's really well coached when they do those type of things. Throw it right to the cutoff man. Keep guys from advancing bases by overthrowing cutoff guys.
And we've seen a lot of left fielders will come up and they'll try to rainbow it into home to try to throw out a runner that's not even going. So the count goes 3-1 here to Mason Jasko. If he gets on base, you're going to have Aiden Elias. We're back to the top. And the coach, I was going to ask you, the catcher, John Van Balen, missed opportunity for a courtesy runner with him at second base?
Not really. He's experienced. He's one of their better runners. And, I don't know if anybody could have scored there because you had to hold to make sure that Kavanaugh was not going to get the ball down at third base and then run yourself out of an inning right there.
So Mason Jasko, the scrappy number 9 hitter for the Sayre Spartans. He was 2 for 3 the other day, 1 for 3 here today, and he gets a walk with 2 outs to bring up the leadoff hitter, Aiden Elias. And if you're Coach Roof, you really wanted Jasko to be the third out of the inning. You didn't want to give Aiden Elias an opportunity with runners on the corner.
And, you probably give Elias, you don't run Jasko because Elias has probably been your most consistent hitter all season and through the postseason, and you give Elias a chance to swing the bat right here.
Here's the first pitch. Ground ball swinging. Up with it is Gordon. Gordon quickly over to Elias by a half step. And the Indians get out of the inning. 4-3 in the book for the third out off the bat of Aiden Elias. So Sayre strands 2 more runners on the corners. They are able to score 1 as Josh Morgan comes in after hitting a double off the net in right center field. So 2 hits, 1 run, no errors for the Indians. They leave 2 runners on base. So through 4 complete, your score here at Chuck Stivers Field in the semifinals of the 11th Region Baseball Tournament is Madison Central 2, Sayre 1. We'll be back right after this.
Beat the heat and ban the same old routine this summer. Find out more during one-tank trips and other adventures at the Scott County Public Library starting June 4th at 7 p.m. Discover family-friendly events, easy on the pocketbook, including festivals, historic sites, arts, cafes, and historic shrines and recreation parks 95 miles or less from Georgetown. Stop by the Scott County Public Library for all your information.
Welcome back to the 11th Region Baseball Tournament, Coach. Sayre, a golden opportunity there with runners at second and third after Sam Van Balen gets a sack bunt. James Dupree comes up, hits one just inside the bag at third. Josh Morgan's able to score. John Van Balen has to hold to make sure it goes through the infield. So he stops at third. Great job defensively as Richardson gets it into Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, very alert, catches James Dupree trying to sneak into second base to stretch that single to a double. Throws him out by about 5 or 6 feet. So a good job defensively of Madison Central. They give up one, but the Spartans had a golden opportunity to get more than one in that inning.
Yeah, they really did. And, give Holbrook credit. He'd been going away. They got a fastball, got it back in on the last, jammed him and got the ground out to second base. So, like we'd mentioned earlier, Holbrook is one of those guys from Madison Central that's able to throw the inner half of the plate and the outer half of the plate.
First pitch, strike called. The 11th Region Baseball Trivia question, sponsored by Madison's on Main in Versailles, Kentucky. How many trips, Coach, has Madison Central made to the state tournament? That's our trivia question. We'll give it to you in the top of the 6th, the answer. Ball, one hop the wall off the bat of Jeremy Lakes. So the number 9 hitter, stand-up double. Ball's traveling. That's Jeremy Lakes, stand-up double.
Got Jeremy Lakes out of the 9-hole tonight, 2 doubles.
And he hands it off to the top. Joe Holbrook walked and scored in the first. Popped up on a great play by John Van Balen on a bunt attempt. He popped it up and he had a diving catch right out in front of the plate for the first out.
Well, I can remember, I know there's more than 2, but 2 teams that really stick out in my mind with Madison Central are the undefeated team back in '82 and back in, I think it was '91 when Kurt Lyons played on the team. They got beat by Franklin Simpson in the semifinals. A team that I was part of, Shelby County, beat Knott Central in our semifinals, and then Franklin Simpson beat us in the finals.
So now batting the top of the lineup, Joe Holbrook. Jeremy Lakes leadoff double off the wall in left center field.
Now you're going to get that cat and mouse game where Holbrook, we was in this situation with Lakes last time with a leadoff double. Didn't do a very good job, and that was a situation where Madison Central kind of squandered an opportunity there a little bit.
Ball in the dirt. And the last time Jeremy Lakes led off with a double, he was actually picked off by Michael Flora.
Right after Holbrook popped the bunt up, got picked off, and then Kavanaugh struck out. And what started off to be a promising inning turned into a not so good inning for him. Good job hitting
line
the ball
drive over
the
the top of the head of Dupree. Off the base of the wall. Holbrook's going to go for 2. Jeremy Lakes is going to come in standing, and Holbrook's going to stop at second base. And the Indians have played another run here on an RBI stand-up double off the bat of the pitcher, Joe Holbrook. So 3-1 is the score as the Indians doing some damage. Coach Roof's going to do a courtesy runner out for Joe Holbrook with the 3-1 lead. Running is going to be number 7, Coach. That is going to be Blake Gross.
Now pitch running, the second base, number 7, Blake Gross. At the plate, number 23, third baseman, Nick Kavanaugh.
Nick Kavanaugh, the third baseman, Coach. He's due, batting .296, 2 for 3 the other day. Struck out twice here in this ball game, and a chance to do some damage. Both teams threatening.
And Sayre's going to go, I believe, with the lefty.
Kevin Clary's coming out to the mound. So we'll take a timeout. We'll come back to see what Kevin Clary's going to do here on PrepSpin.com, the 11th Region Baseball Tournament at Chuck Stivers Field. We'll be back after this.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab,
21,
neurological
Morgan's gonna go to
rehabilitation, low back
4 go to
pain,
third,
neck pain,
you got
and
two
arthritic
DH
conditions.
coming out.
Our mission is
Okay,
to
so the
provide
kill
the
of the
highest
DH
quality
probably.
physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy,
So
a journey
the pitcher's
to
probably going in
wellness.
for the
To
DH,
contact the physical
Yeah.
therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title
Marshall
sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
His first name's Marshall. Nielsen,
What's his number?
13.
Summer Heroes Read. Summer reading kicks off at Scott County Public Library May the 31st. Don't miss superhero story times for children. For teens, check out the White Hat computer hacking class, supervillain costume party, and running the city police obstacle course. Adults enjoy free Wi-Fi, computer access, books, movies, and music. Relax and recharge at the Scott County Public Library. Check us out at www.scottpublilive.org.
New pitcher in the game for the Sayre Spartans. He's going to come in the designated hitter spot, and that's going to be Marshall Nielsen, coach, 6'2", 165-pound freshman from the left side. And Michael Floor is going to go to third base, and Josh Morgan is going to go back out to left field. So first pitching change of the ball game. You know much about Nielsen?
Freshman lefty, high 70s, low 80s type guy, and his put-away pitch is a slider. Got a really good tight slider, and when he gets 2 strikes on you, he'll start that slider right about thigh high and then break it right down into the dirt. So, got the typical arm side movement from a left-hander, and then his finishing pitch is the slider.
So Josh Morgan, like I said, is going to go out and play left field. Garrett Young is done for the day. Michael Flora will move over to third base. And that should be your changes, and we're back for live baseball action as Nick Cavanaugh, the number 2 hitter for the Indians, a chance to do some more damage. His team already up 3-1.
You would almost guess here that since Cavanaugh's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, he might be trying to lay one down here.
And a good stolen base out there by Blake Gross, trying to give his brother Trey a little bit of credit, but that lead you're talking about pays dividends again. 3-1 here.
Sayre's going to bring their infield up on the right side and keep them back on the left.
0-1 pitch. High and outside. Ball 1. Count evens up 1-1. So Michael Floor even at the bag at third. Trey Gross, his younger brother Blake, is at third base. Ball in the dirt. Count goes 2-1. Josh Morgan playing him straight up in left field. The center fielder, Aiden Elias, and the right fielder kind of shaded to the right side a little bit for him to hit the ball that way. So we'll see. Here's the 2-1 pitch from the lefty. Nielsen, strike 2 called. Mason Jasko and Sam Van Balen in on the grass. Christian Courtney and Michael Floor said, we're going to join the party, as they're going to try to prevent the run from scoring with no outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Ground ball to Courtney. He backhands it, looks the runner back. Easy throw over to Sam Van Balen. So good job by Christian Courtney. And the first out of the inning is in the books. Now to bring up Josh Wright. All Josh Wright did, coach, his last time up was hit a bomb to right center field.
Yeah, and look for with a lefty-on-lefty matchup here for Wright to get a good dose of Nielsen's slider. It's, a lot of times lefties don't see lefties, especially in high school baseball. And, if you can stay closed on it and hit that breaking ball the other way, you got a shot. But
first pitch outside, ball 1. Fouled straight back. Blake Gross down to third base. Josh Wright trying to drive in his third run of the ball game. Holbrook with the other RBIs. He had a stand-up double, back-to-back doubles to lead off the inning for the Indians. Safety squeeze.
Yeah, and what they do is Madison Central will safety squeeze it and hope the shortstop doesn't get over. With the bunts down, they'll go, but, not full-out commit to the suicide squeeze.
Yeah, but the runner went just as far as Flora did.
Right.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-2. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here on PrepSpin.com. I'm Mike Ritchie along with Scott Willard. Glad to be bringing you the broadcast tonight. 2-2 pitch. Fouled. And the ball out of the mitt of John Van Balen. So a foul ball. Count remains 2-2. 1 out here, top of the 5th inning. Madison Central 3, Sayre 1. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, hard ground ball to Jasko. He's coming home with it. Van Balen gets it, and the tag, he's out. So a fielder's choice. And Blake Gross thrown out. That'll be 4-2. And Van Balen took him a little bit of time, Coach, to get that tag down just in time for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Ben Morin, the center fielder, hitting .371. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Pop up to Jasko at second. Strikeout looking in the 4th. And the golden opportunity missed right there. Jasko did a good job. He's playing at the grass, but that was kind of a chopper. There's one hopper to him. He got rid of it quickly. And like I say, John Van Balen took a little bit of time to catch it and get the tag down, but got there just in time, according to the home plate umpire, Dave Bryan. So the score still remains 3-1. Now we got a runner at first base in the form of Josh Wright. Foul tip off the bat of Ben Morin. So the count 0-1 here to the cleanup hitter for the Indians. The 0-1 pitch, outside. Ball gets away from the catcher. Ball pitch or pass ball on that one, Coach?
I get a little pass ball there.
Pass ball as the ball comes out of the mitt of Van Balen, and Josh Wright alertly scampers on down to second base. So runner in scoring position for the cleanup hitter, Ben Morin. Hitless here tonight. Count at this at bat is 1-1. We got 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Considering all the rain we had, Coach, the field in great condition. Did a great job. The field crew, along with the help of the players from Madison Central and Henry Clay, getting the field ready after the long rain delay. Felt like a major league game, a 2.5-hour rain delay. Here's Nielsen's 1-1 pitch, outside in the dirt. Good job by John Van Balen.
Only thing we didn't have up here was the Chiquita banana phone, like Marty and and the Cowboy.
And the Cowboy. Two-one pitch. Popped up straight back. Out of play. Might even hit the score box. It does. Press box has one dent in the shingles on the roof. And the count 2-2. 2 outs here. To Ben Morin, the cleanup hitter for the Indians, 0 for 2 tonight. He's got Josh Wright down at second base. Wright reached first on a fielder's choice as Jasko gets Holbrook, or Blake Gross, out at the plate. He advanced to second on a pass ball. And they're wanting a balk call. Bob Eade says, I've been umpiring for a few years. I got this.
Yeah, I think he referee or umpired when Moses was pitching.
I was going to say, I think he was actually out in the field on the first balk ever called. And Morin hits that a ton, but Aiden Elias is underneath of it in left center field. And the Spartans staying alive as the Indians back-to-back doubles to lead off the inning for the Indians, but good defensive plays. Courtney able to get a ground ball to him, looks the runner back, gets an out. Jasko comes up with Josh Wright at the plate. Ground ball to him, one hopper. The runner, Blake Gross, tries to score from third base. A good throw to Van Balen for the tag for the second out of the inning, and Ben Morin gets a lot of it, but it's pretty deep out in left center field. Aiden Elias is able to run it down, and that'll get us to the bottom of the fifth inning. Coming up, the 2, 3, and 4 hitter for the Spartans when we return here on PrepSpin.com. Back after this.
Beat the heat and ban the same old routine this summer. Find out more during one-tank trips and other adventures at the Scott County Public Library starting June 4th at 7 p.m. Discover family-friendly events, easy on the pocketbook, including festivals, historic sites, arts, cafes, and historic shrines and recreation parks 95 miles or less from Georgetown. Stop by the Scott County Public Library for all your information.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's the winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach. Honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Believe that.
Back live here at the 11th Region Baseball Tournament, Henry Clay High School, Chuck Stivers Field. Leading off, Michael Flora for the Spartans. Hard throwing Joe Holbrook still on the mound. Strike called. Flora walk stranded at third, a double in the third inning and stranded at third. Pitch there inside.
You know, Madison Central's had, as Holbrook goes 3-1 on Flora, they had activity in the bullpen most every inning. So, you know, the one thing that after scoring a run, you need a shutdown inning, and Holbrook comes out and walks Flora, the leadoff batter, in the fifth.
So Flora on base 3 times, reached base successfully all 3 attempts. Here today, Christian Courtney.
There goes Kyle Kelsey, 20 to the bullpen again.
Courtney, 2 RBIs, 1 for 4 against Lafayette. Over 2 today. Ground ball to the pitcher, ground ball to the third baseman, swing and a miss. At a chest-high fastball, strike 1. Coach, still some time to think about that Madison Central trivia question by Madison's on Main from Darren Douglas. How many times has Madison Central made it to the state tournament? As Courtney swings 0-2. Christian Courtney way behind in this at bat. He finds himself 0-2. Here's the pitch from Holbrook. Fastball outside. Ball 1. Michael Flora running out at first base. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Holbrook. Off speed, fouled. Straight back. Count remains 1-2. 3-1 here. Good ball game. 4 hits for both teams. Madison Central stranded 4 runners. 6 runners stranded by the Spartans of Sayre. 3 doubles in the ball game for Madison Central. 2 for the Sayre Spartans. Courtney still battling here.
Yeah, he's seen everything. You know, Holbrook's throwing him fastballs, breaking balls. He's seen a variety of pitches and fouled a bunch of them off, and really working on getting his timing down here.
1-2 pitch. Pickoff move to Flora. Over at first base, Hotchkiss, good job of picking up the ball out of the dirt. Ball too high, 2-2. Corey Mullen says, let's bring it down just a little bit. Great crowd out here tonight. 10:45 on a school night. But one thing, Coach, Sayre's out of school, right?
Yeah, I think they took finals last week. And
2-2 pitch down the right field line. It's going to get out of play.
You know, with a hitter like Courtney, the more pitches he sees, you know, he's seen Holbrook's fastball, he's seen his slider. You know, as you get in the box and you foul balls off, you get more comfortable and get yourself timed in there. And usually when you see a guy foul a bunch of balls off like that, usually they end up hitting the ball pretty hard.
So the count stays 2-2. Holbrook with the pitch. Line drive down the left field line, out of play. He wasn't fooled on that one, and Dave Bryan says, I need some baseballs. Mason Stockham gives him a couple. And Nick Barty out again.
If that's their third trip, I think we're going to see Lakes.
Or Kelsey?
Kelsey, yes.
So what we'll do is we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and get the pitching change for you here. You're watching 11th Region Baseball, 3-1, bottom of the 5th in favor of Madison Central. We'll be back right after this.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know. Frank Shoot.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoop in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
Frank Shoot. He's big on service and he's big on deals. Frank Shoot. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoot's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoot is gonna set the pace.
Summer Heroes Read. Summer reading kicks off at Scott County Public Library May the 31st. Don't miss superhero story times for children. For teens, check out the White Hat computer hacking class, supervillain costume party, and running the city police obstacle course. Adults enjoy free Wi-Fi, computer access, books, movies, and music. Relax and recharge at the Scott County Public Library. Check us out at www.scottpublilive.org.
So new pitcher into the ball game for the Indians of Madison Central. That would be Kyle Kelsey, Coach. Let's go over the numbers for the new pitcher for.
Number 20, Kyle Kelsey, thrown 44 in the third innings. He's had 12 appearances, started 6 games. He's 5-1 on the year with a save. Give up 30 hits, 19 runs, 10 earned, 10 walks, 48 strikeouts, and a 1.579 ERA.
And again, Kyle Kelsey, very impressive with the Central pitchers. Most of them have a great walk-to-strikeout ratio, as his is almost 5-1. So he'll come in with the unenviable task of a 2-2 count to the number 3 hitter for the Sayre Spartans.
And really, you think about it, if Kelsey, he's thrown quite a few innings and he can handle the situation and, different velocity, different stuff, it's going to give Courtney a different look.
Pickoff move. So here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside corner, just missed. So it must be outside the black corner of the plate. Count goes full, 3-2. And the Madison Central Indian bench not happy with that one. Our dugout, excuse me.
Yeah, they wanted that pitch on the 2-2 there.
Kelsey trying to keep Flora close. He led off the inning with a walk. Joe Holbrook now playing second base. That means Ryan Gordon's night is done. So here's the payoff pitch from Kelsey. Swing and a miss. Fastball high. Courtney couldn't lay off of it. Strikeout for the first out of the inning. Kyle Kelsey, a junior.
Now at the plate, number 44, designated hitter, Mason Stockham.
That'll bring up the number 4 hitter, the designated hitter, Mason Stockham. Michael Flora out at first base. First pitch. Outside, ball 1. 3-1 is the score. 4 hits for both teams. Nobody scored more than 1 run per inning. Good high school baseball game as the count evens up 1-1. Special shout out to Clear Choice Orthodontics, home of Dr. Durbin, Wong, and Garner. Whitaker Bank, Rebound Orthopedic. Kelsey just rearing back and throwing heat, isn't he, Coach?
Yeah, he's. Y'all brought me in here to relieve. You brought me in here to throw strikes. And I'm going to go my top pitch, my fastball. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can and see if you can hit it.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another fastball outside. And I tell you, you spend many of games over in the dugout. There's nothing better if you're a head coach when you bring in that relief pitcher and he's chucking strikes.
Throwing strikes. Boy, that's what I brought you in here for.
Making the coach look good is Kyle Kelsey up to this point. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High. He got a little extra on that one as the hat came off.
Yeah, Kyle Kelsey's what you call a max effort guy.
Yeah.
In 2 or 3 pitches out there, he's knocked his hat off. He's not a guy. He's going to be a guy that gives max effort and
3-2 pitch. Hitting. And Stockham. Hit by pitch. And that'll bring Flora down to second base and bring up Josh Morgan. All Josh Morgan did the last time up, Coach, was hit one off the net in right center field, opposite field. I'll tell you what, Coach Clary would like to see that same shot this time for the sophomore.
Josh Morgan is a really good fastball hitter, and that's Kelsey's best pitch. So we're going to have a nice little matchup here between a fastball hitter and a fastball pitcher.
Here's the first pitch from Kelsey. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. So runners in scoring position again for the Sayre Spartans. They've had runners in scoring position every inning. Kelsey goes back-to-back outside corner, strike called. 0-2 is the count.
Morgan's going to have to make the decision to do just like he did last time, try to hit that thing into right center. It's going to be tough for him to pull the 2 pitches that he's gotten so far.
Come way outside. Ball in the dirt. Good backhand by Corey Mullins. Corey Mullins, great job there. He set up about 8 inches outside. Kelsey wound up throwing it about 1.5 foot outside and in the dirt. And Corey Mullins did a great job of backhanding it. No way he could have got in front of that one. Did the only thing he could. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside in the dirt again. And a great job holding the runner. Michael Flora has to stay down at second base as Corey Mullins blocks the ball right in front of him. And like you say, Coach, it's impressive that he's able to block it, but the athletic ability he has to get up and get to it
Yeah, he does such a good job of blocking it right out in front of him where he doesn't have to go very far to get it. You know, a lot of catchers, like to say, get out there and don't get it squared up, and it glances off to one side or the other. He gets it right in the center and drops it right in front of him.
2-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off down the right side. Out of play. For the sophomore left fielder, Josh Morgan. Struck out in the first, hit a ball off the net in the right center field, and scored in the fourth. Two-two pitch. Line drive to Cavanaugh, and he picks off Flora to end the inning. So a line drive to Nick Cavanaugh for the second out, and Flora gets picked off 5-4 for the third out of the inning, and not what you wanted if you're a Spartan fan, but if you're a Madison Central fan, you got to be happy with the outcome there. So through 5.5, Madison Central with a nice defensive play by Cavanaugh have the lead 3-1. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back here on PrepSpin.com with the 11th Region Baseball Tournament.
It's a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Welcome back to the top of the sixth inning here at Chuck Stivers Field. 11th Region Baseball action. Sayre had a golden opportunity there, Coach, and just couldn't come through as a nice defensive play by
you know, Josh
Cavanaugh.
Morgan did what he could do. He hit the ball hard on the line, right at the third baseman. Flora trying to get a little jump off second, range too far off there, and the easy toss over to second to get the.
So a pinch hitter right here, Austin Alexander. 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs against Woodford County on Monday. Pinch hitting here for Isaac Swafford. So the count 1-1. Now make it 2-1 as Marshall Nielsen finds himself behind the count to the leadoff hitter of the inning, Austin Alexander, pinch hitting for Isaac Swafford, the designated hitter for the Indians. Here's the 2-1 pitch, off speed outside. 3-1. Here's a 3-1 delivery, swing. On the pitch in the dirt. Count evens up 3-2. Alexander taps himself on the helmet. He knew that was ball 4, didn't he, Coach?
Yeah, slider in the dirt. You know, Nielsen had to.
Strikeout. For the first out of the inning for Nielsen. Seth Richardson, the left fielder. Flew out to right field in the second, walked.
Number 4, Seth Richardson.
And stranded at second in the fourth inning. Here's the first pitch from Marshall Nilsson, strike called. If you had time to think about our trivia question, we'll give you the answer to that here in a minute. We'll give Coach Wheeler an opportunity to answer it. Ball 1-1. We'll do that after this batter here. Seth Richardson, .310 hitter on the season. 1 for 3 against Woodford County. 0 for 1 here tonight. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. The count goes 2-1. Two-one pitch, high, outside, 3-1. I like the way this Seth Richardson kid plays for Madison Central.
Yeah, he's done a really good job defensively.
Fouled straight back. Count evens up and goes full. 3-2. Hotchkiss. Foul ball duty behind the plate. Payoff pitch, high, outside, ball 4. And Coach, any guess on the trivia question sponsored by Madison on Main from
I'm going to go with
Kentucky?
9.
You are actually correct, Coach. 9 times. Their first appearance was back in 1962. Last came in 1991. Was that a guess or did you know?
That was a dead guess. I thought somewhere between 5 and 10, but I didn't know how they counted sectionals and, going to the Final Four and, how that related to the state tournament.
So the answer was 9. Coach Wheeler with the perfect guess of 9. That's why he's doing color. He knows all.
I don't know about that, but
well, for the sake of this broadcast,
yes. Now
you're the better of the two of us.
Look for Richardson to be off and running at some point in this at bat.
Swing and a miss. That looked like a good swing, Coach, but that ball's outside, and you cannot have that pull swing, because if he does make contact, he's going to do one thing, hit a ground ball to Christian Courtney at shortstop, chance to turn 2. But the head was pulled. There was no way he was hitting that outside pitch. Good location by Nilsson as he goes over to first base to try to keep Seth Richardson close. 3-1 is the score here, top of the 6th inning again. Shout out to Madison's on Main and Versailles, Kentucky for our trivia question. Can't stump Coach Willard. 1 out here in the 6th inning. That could have very easily been a balk, but Dave Bryan.
Yeah, when the hitter calls time and the guy hears that and stops, they're not going to call a balk there because of the action of the hitter.
Squares around the bunt. Fouls it off. Right to the Sayre fans, and they tell him how much they appreciate his bunting ability. The Sayre fans are right up on top of the net. I hope they understand that net does give. So 0-2 to Griffin Hotchkiss, the first baseman. Here's the pitch with 1 out. Ground ball. Flora runs it down, gets it out at second. Jasko, quick flip, not in time. But a good job of Michael Flora and a great flip out there by the second baseman, Mason Jasko. But the speedy runner, Griffin Hotchkiss, safe at first base. So a fielder's choice for Hotchkiss.
And Richardson never figured out Nilsson's move over there to first. Twice as he went up, he had him going back to first base. So just Richardson would have been off and running, but he could just never seem to figure out the move of Marshall Nilsson.
Nilsson, a good job changing his motions or his plate to home. Hotchkiss says, I've got it figured out. He steals it easily. Corey Mullins now batting, .222 on the season. 0 for 2 today, 1 for 3 on Monday. But I tell you what, Coach, if he doesn't get a hit all season long, what he does behind the plate, he's a valuable member of this Indians baseball team. 0-1 pitch. Count evens up 1-1 here. 2 outs.
If they don't pay attention to Hodges out there, he's going to be at third in about 2 pitches.
Be sure and check us out on youtube.com/PrepSpin. You'll find out when the game tomorrow is, the second semifinal. And also we'll hopefully know when the championship game is scheduled for. We have a little bit of a graduation issue. Madison Central graduates on Friday. Henry Clay graduates on Saturday. Sunday is the last day we can get this sucker in before the state tournament starts on Monday. So special shout out to Mother Nature for making it interesting here for all of us baseball fans of the 11th region. Here's the 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Gets away from Van Balen, and Hotchkiss easily over to third base with the wild pitch. Sayre has to do everything in their power here. I don't think they can let another run score. Do you, Coach?
No, I got 2 outs, 8-hitter at the plate. Make sure your total 100% concentration on the hitter. If he doesn't get a hit,
strike call. The count evens up at 2-2. Darren Douglas, I know he's reading this out of the book, Coach. Central winning 62, 63, 64, 65, 68, 81, 82, 83, 91. And we're state champions in 82. Or was it 81, Coach?
82.
82, 40-0.
Undefeated under Coach Don Richardson.
That doesn't happen very often. Outside, just missed. The count goes 3-2. Good pitch by Nielsen. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss in the dirt. He holds the runner back, throws out Mullins for the third out of the inning. And a good job by John Van Balen right there, Coach, as Mullins swung at a ball in the dirt. So a strikeout, 2-3 on the put out for the third out of the inning.
Just like you said, his put away pitch is his slider, and he went to work with it right there.
So no runs, no hits, no errors in the inning. 1 runner left on base. Through 6.5, your score, Madison Central 3, Sayre 1. We'll be back right after this on PrepSpin.com.
Summer Heroes Read. Summer reading kicks off at Scott County Public Library May the 31st. Don't miss superhero story times for children. For teens, check out the White Hat computer hacking class, supervillain costume party, and running the city police obstacle course. Adults enjoy free Wi-Fi, computer access, books, movies, and music. Relax and recharge at the Scott County Public Library. Check us out at www.scottpublib.org.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back for the bottom of the 6th inning here on PrepSpin.com. Mike Ritchie, Scott Willard. Bring you the baseball action here. The score right now, as you can see with the score bug up in the right-hand corner, Madison Central 3, Sayre 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Game time has been decided for the second semifinal. That game time will be, Coach, 5:30 right here at Henry Clay High School. Leading off for the Spartans, 6, 7, and 8. John Van Balen, Sam Van Balen, James Dupree. Tell you what, Kelsey has come in. He's done nothing but throw strikes, Coach. He's ahead 0-2.
Yeah, Van Balen's been on twice today. He's walked and doubled, so it'll be important that he tries to work and get himself on base here to start the bottom of the 6th inning for Sayre. You know, the big thing that, you know, gets a lot of inning starters get that leadoff hitter on. Outside.
Count evens up 2-2. John Van Balen stranded at second base in the second inning, stranded at third base in the fourth inning. As he got a single, advanced Morgan to third after Morgan led off the inning with the double off the net. 2-2 pitch, just outside. And again, that was a great high school pitch right there. Half the crowd mad, half the crowd happy. And if it missed, it didn't miss by much. 3-2 is the count. The batter's John Van Balen. Here's Kyle Kelsey's pitch in the dirt, and Van Balen does his job, Coach. Second walk of the ball game. And that'll bring up younger brother, the sophomore Sam Van Balen. Sam 1 for 3 against Lafayette. 0 for 1 here today. Perfect sacrifice bunt in the fourth inning.
Now batting number 50, first baseman Sam Van Balen.
And the thing is, you know, if you're Madison Central is
first pitch swinging. Pop up to Griffin Hotchkiss. He'd like to have that bat back. James Dupree now up
Now to play number 30, right fielder.
for the Spartans. Sayre down to their final 5 outs of the ball game. They currently trail 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here at Chuck Stivers Field.
Van Balen's one of the guys that
First pitch fouled right back in to Dave Bryan. Quickly out to make sure he's okay. I'd like to give a special shout out to Mitch Kupchak, general manager for the Lakers. Fans very courteous. Only time they'll give the umpire an applause is after he takes one into the body.
what I was going to say before that pitch is Dupree's the one that hit the ball down the third base line between the bag and Kavanaugh down there. So, you know, if he gets the ball in, Dupree is a kid that can pull the ball
right
and can hit it very hard.
Kelsey staying away. Mullen setting up outside again. Ball high and count 2-1. One out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Spartans down 2 runs, 3-1 to the Indians. Winner advances to take on the winner of Lexington Christian and Henry Clay. That game will be scheduled for 5:30 tomorrow. Strike 2. The
come on.
Here has to do whatever that game for you. Hit a